Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 challenge, Saving a Giant with me, Daniel. It's episode 5 and we're back today for a cup competition as we face Manchester City again. Another quarter final, this time the FA Cup, and we're facing the side that have already won the League Cup. We've not won any of our 5 previous meetings against Ralph Hasenhüttl's side as they dominated the Carabao Cup tie previously, and although we're doing relatively well in the league now, we're still behind our Merseyside rivals Everton, and of course we're not in a league of the top 4 or 5 who have completely blown the rest of the league away. We're doing okay in the league despite our struggles financially. The board seem to be a little bit worried about that as our wage bill's catching up with us, but they gave our director of football the money to spend in January and he certainly went and did that. And that's where we start actually. Before we get to a youth intake, before we get to our results, we said it was going to be a quiet deadline day, but our director of football went in with one more bid. Maori went to Celtic and completed his deal. That could be rising to 28.5 million, but a guaranteed 20 million for a backup player who wanted to leave. We certainly can't complain about that. Then Joby Holwell, one of our youngsters, got to 22 and hadn't really developed. He's gone to Derby for just under $750,000 and there's a good sell-on fee for him as well. But you can see where the money's been spent. 13.25 million, Georges Bosmans from Bayern Munich, which is a good sign. He's a 28-year-old Belgian right winger, an international for them, electric quick, great agility and balance, and he's pretty decent technically as well. I guess if we were going in English terms and from real life players at the moment, you'd probably think of prime Theo Walcott at Arsenal when he was scoring about 1 in 3. This is what this guy looks like at the moment. His stats just remind me of Walcott completely. So a pretty good right winger there, and he's certainly going to contribute to the squad. But if we go and have a look at the schedule to see what's been happening since you were last with me, you obviously joined me for that game against Tottenham, the day before that transfer for Bosmans, the right winger. We followed it up 2 weeks later with a fantastic win at home to Bournemouth, the first of 2 successive 5-1 Premier League wins. Benitez got a brace from holding midfield, Ben Harash, Antunes and Brewster with a goal each, as we ran riot against an average Bournemouth side. Then away to Fulham in the 5th round of the FA Cup, Brewster with a brace for Nikias Jr and Jimenez gave us a 4-0 lead with 10 minutes left, and then in the end 2 late goals for the home side made it look a little bit closer than it was, but we were through comfortably and we were brilliant in our performance. Then at home to Newcastle, a side we've obviously managed in the past in this career when it was under the head coach guys. We did a brilliant job with them and won the Premier League, the Europa League and the Carabao Cup over a 4.5 year spell, and still a lot of those players remain, but we absolutely battered them in this one. Benitez, Bosmans with the braces, first goals for the club, Jimenez and Brewster making it comfortable. We were 5-0 up after 53 minutes, and in the end Newcastle could only get one back. You can see there's plenty of players remaining from our spell there, but it wasn't enough to stop us running riot. Then after that we played Fulham again, this time away in the Premier League. 3 of the same scorers in this game too, Vinicius Jr and Brewster for us, after Troy Parrott had given Fulham the league. Then at home to Wolves in the first game of March, Antonov scored a brilliant free kick. We did win 1-0, but it was a pretty edgy game. We certainly weren't anywhere near our best. Then Watford outplayed us away from home, but they did get a sending off on the hour mark. That changed the game in our favour, but we were unable to take advantage near the end. Brewster got the goal as always. He's been in deadly form in front of goal since we joined, but it was only enough to get us a point to lead us into this one with a mediocre result. If we look at the FA Cup last day, we're actually quite unfortunate to draw City. United, the other big side left in it. West Ham doing decently in this save. Everton and Leicester played out the other one. League One Exeter are playing Watford, so there could be some surprises in the semi-final. We'd like to think if we get through this game, we would actually be one of the favourites to win it. Everton have already dropped out, and one of United or West Ham will do likewise. But it's going to be very difficult to get through against City, who have had a fantastic season so far. Added to that the fact that Nelson Antunes is out, he fractured his lower leg and has still got 6 weeks out remaining. A brilliant young striker for us, and unfortunately he's been sorely missed. You can see in the last 3 games the goals have dried up, not long after he picked up his injury. And now we've got Kevin Anderson joining him too, the brilliant young January signing. He's out for 7 weeks with a broken toe. I think he's already missed 1 so far. So we're missing 2 of our frontline strikers, and it's going to make it a little bit harder today. Finally, before we get into the game though, let's go and have a quick look at our youth intake. There's not much to shout about this year, to be honest. We've already signed a couple of players we wanted to keep. Matthew McGoldrick, a young striker, 1-star ability, 3.5 potential, a pretty decent striker, but I don't think he's going to make it at Premier League level. And then Ryan Duckett, a left back, 1-star ability, 3.5 potential again, not too good technically, but he's pretty quick and that's why he's rated so highly. They're the only two that really stand out. The rest of them weren't a very good intake. So a bit of an underwhelming disappointment there, but I guess we're not going to be around long enough to get the benefit from the good ones. Tom Hill is still improving. He's someone we mentioned when we joined the club, and in fact we're going to promote him to the first team now, particularly as we've got 2 strikers out for the season. But let's go and get into this game today. A quarter final of the FA Cup against City. Going to be a very difficult tie, particularly away from home, but now we're comfortable in the league, we can certainly focus on it and put out our strongest possible 11. It means we've got Manolis in goal for this one, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Lambert are the fullbacks, Lucimar and Zhao in the middle, Benitez in that Segundo Volante role, Antonov in the deep line playmaker position, and then Bosmans and Vinicius Jr. on the wings, with Jimenez and Brewster up front. You might be wondering why Vinicius Jr. rather than Ben Harush is on the bench. He's had a couple of short-term knocks recently, and the one game we tried to start the Israeli, he unfortunately picked up a knock. But a good option to have off the bench nonetheless, and the same goes for Morala, the right winger. We've got Dario Botta just back from a knock as well. He's on the bench, the centre half. So a few little issues in terms of match fitness, but nothing that should hold us back too much. Let's go and get into this game against City though, and see if we can cause a mighty FA Cup shock. It's a 4-2-3-1 for City. Plenty of names we recognise from our time back at Newcastle. Mikado, Mohammadi and Van Riel. They all played again in that Carabao Cup quarter-final, so we're familiar with the side entirely. De Graaf in central midfield rings a bell as well. They've got so many really good players. We're going to tell the lads to go out and prove a point. We're going to drop to a balanced mentality. Most of them are motivated and hopefully they'll respond with their best performances of the season. We're just going to drop Lambert to a defensive duty at left fullback, mainly because Vinicius Jr. is in the side. He's playing as an inside forward instead of the winger role Ben Harush does, and that means we're a little exposed out there, particularly on the counter-attack, so I want to try and protect our fullback on that side and make sure he's got enough cover out there. So let's go and get into the game. Hopefully we'll be able to create a few chances. It's kick-off for Brewster, who goes to Jimenez as we bring it out nicely from the back. It's a long ball forward in the end though, and he's knocked away as far as Benitez. Falls for Vinicius Jr. on the left. He delivers into the box. It's headed away as far as Benitez. Certainly an exciting first highlight of the match. Benitez is fouled just outside the box, and Antonov has the free kick. He hits the post and is cleared by Beza. What a first chance that was. It's Alexander-Arnold with a throw on the right. Bosmans is challenged, now City can break. De Graaf inside to Gonzalez. He's got a man over on the right if he can find him. Instead he's going along down the field here, alone even as I said that. Van Riel crosses it into Timmers. His shot saved by Manolis, and it's behind for a City corner. They had their first big chance of the game. It's an out-swinging corner from Timmers. Into the front post and Zhao clears, flicked on by Bosmans, but the highlight ends, and with 5 gone it's 0-0. We're back as a long ball's been pumped forward. I have no idea who hit it. Antonov gets the ball to Vinicius Jr. And now Benitez on the edge. Oh, the City keeper's made a howler. It was a feeble effort from 25 yards. The commentary says screamer, but it barely bobbled over the line. Apparently against his former club too. Benitez, a former City man apparently, that we've just given the ball away from a throw on the edge of our own box. And Manolis makes a fantastic save before Arnold recovers to clear it. But a really good start. And we've been handed a favour by the City goalkeeper. We lead 1-0 after 20 minutes, and what an achievement it would be if we could go and win the FA Cup. In this manager's career as the head coach, it's the one we missed out on at Newcastle. If we could win our favourite competition, it would certainly make me very happy. It would make this series completely worthwhile, just for that one game alone. It's Jimenez on the left-hand side to Antonov. He finds Jimenez again. Benitez with another chance on the edge, but this time his shot's blocked, and it's cleared long down downfield by City. Half an hour gone and they've got a throw on the left. Mercado gets it to Timmers. He's cutting inside and crosses. João blocks and it goes as far as Benitez. He finds Manolis the keeper and it's long downfield to Jimenez. Blocked as far as De Graaf though. Mercado on the left to Timmers. City keeping possession well and they put a through ball in but Lambert intercepts. He clears down the left to Vinicius Jr. Can we break now with Bosmans? He's got the ball from the switch of play, though his through ball's blocked. Took a little bit too long there and in the end he lost possession, but we're competing evenly against City and that's certainly an achievement this year. I say that as Bioko goes in and I've got to stop making these statements. Van Riel across the front post first time. Bioko got there ahead of Lusumar, curled it into the near post. No chance for Manolis. It's 1-1 with 10 to the break and unfortunately City can now get on top. De Graaf shoots from the edge to Timmers, bobbles around but he was offside. Manolis wasn't to know as he made a good save, but we're living very dangerously at the moment. It's half time then, it is all square at the break. Benitez forcing a mistake from the keeper just by having a go from distance, then Bioko with a really composed finish himself to put City back on level terms. We're going to tell the lads to prove a point again, just as Oleg Yarovinski recommends, and we'll get back into the second half with most of the lads motivated again. Gonzalez gets the ball from the kick-off for City. He goes back to Beza, the centre-half. Segarra in the middle of midfield. He finds Gonzalez, and the highlight ends as City keep possession. We're back not long later though, as Mercado and De Graaf are playing it on the left side. Through ball for Bioko, who's been left free again. His shot's blocked, as is Van Riel's, and in the end Brewster hacks it clear. We're parting like the Red Sea at centre-half, and that's something that certainly concerns us. But we're on the break here again with Brewster. He's got Jimenez up with him, but the through ball's poor and Beza can get there. He goes back to the keeper, Haller. Plays it short to the centre-half. Long ball down forward to Bioko. He beats one, but Benitez makes a good challenge, and now Bosmans and Alexander-Arnold on the right. Long ball over to Jimenez. He's put it in second time. Brilliant first touch and finish, and it beats Haller with no chance in goal. We lead again in the FA Cup quarter-final, and we're certainly doing a job here at the City of Manchester Stadium. A brilliant start to the second half, the long ball over from the experienced fullback, and a fantastic finish by young Jimenez. 10 minutes into the second period, hopefully we can hold on for the rest of the game. They've brought on a world-class replacement in Cappiello. He's transfer listed, but he's still got enough quality to make a difference. Cappiello, who we just spoke about, is on the ball now. He finds Timmers on the left-hand side. Tries to cross and it finds Van Riel. It's into the arms of Manolis. Really should have done better with that one, the winger, but in the end we're happy to survive. I've just got to go and check the duties of our defence. They're on support or defensive duties. I'm not quite sure what more we can do. They seem to be getting caught out a lot, despite the fact we're asking them to defend. 20 minutes to go and it's a corner for Timmers. Mercado heads it down, but he's straight into the arms of Manolis, and we can deal with that one all day. We're going to tell the lads to get on with it. We are going to demand more in a moment, but in the end we'll just see out this highlight first to make sure we don't concede again. What's happened there with Forenzek? He's hit the post and then hit the keeper on the foot, gone behind for a corner, but what is happening at the back? The ball over the top down the middle, and we're completely getting caught out by it. We've been told to change the tactics for Lusumar. Apparently he's been drawn away from his position, so we're going to tell him not to mark a specific player, and hopefully that will help us out long term. They are going long over the top, so we're going to change one of our fullbacks to a cover duty. João prefers to do that anyway, so we're going to make that change and see if it works. Into the game again, as City have a corner with Timmers. An outswinging delivery towards Forenzek. It's headed away as far as the central midfielder. Timmers will try and cross again, but it's deflected to the edge of the box. Third time lucky, but the highlight ends, and we'll think about changes in a moment. 15 to go, Mohammadi with a throw on the right, not Ahmed El Mohammadi I'm afraid, another young fullback who's certainly a little bit better, a world-class one at City. Timmers forces a great save from Manolis as we say that, tipped behind down to his left-hand side, and it's out for a City corner again. Into the box and hacked away by Antonov, and I think it's just about time for those changes. 13 minutes to go, Brewster's having a poor game, but we're not taking him off. We are going to give Bosmans a rest though. Morala will make his long-awaited comeback. We've got Benitez struggling for fitness. Antonov's not had the best game, but I don't want to make too many changes too early, so it's just going to be the one for now. Just a few more minutes left. It's a corner for Timmers, into Beza, and Manolis has palmed it in. That's really poor goalkeeping. It's gone down as an own goal for Alexander Arnold though. It didn't look like it went anywhere near him, so I'm not quite sure what happened with that one, as Brewster takes the kick-off. He finds Lucimar and now Zhao. Back to the goalkeeper Manolis, and we build again from the back as he gets closed down very quickly. Vinicius Jr. loses out in the air, Van Riel finds Forenzek, and this could have been a quick turnaround here. We've got to be very careful at the back. City are caught offside, and we're finally going to get a breather. We're going to make our last two changes as well. Vinicius Jr. replaced by Ben Harush. He'll go to his preferred winger duty, just to give us that extra solidity out wide. And then Rhian Brewster's going to be replaced by Connolly. Jimenez will go into the advanced forward role, and Connolly's going to drop to a pressing forward duty, the one that he's very good at anyway. We just want to put more pressure on the defence to stop their nervous centre-halves playing out. Morella with a free kick on his return. Into the back post, it's bobbling all over the place. It comes off Lucimar last in the end, and it goes over the bar for a City goal kick. Into stoppage time, how many minutes will there be? Just 4 more for us to get a winner. It's Lucimar with a free kick on halfway. Out to Morella on the right hand side. He finds Antonov and now Jimenez. Back to Connolly. Tries to play it through for Ben Harush, but his cross is blocked, and what's happening out wide? City have got a 4-on-2. There's loads in the box unmarked. Bioko heads it wide. We're going to drop Alexander Arnold to a defensive duty, and we're going to see if we can find one for Benitez. If not, we'll drop Antonov to one at least, just to give us a bit more solidity on the break. I've no idea why there was no one back. Anthony Lambert's on a defensive duty. It's a goal kick for City. Haller goes long downfield. City have thrown 4 men up front now too. This is something we've got to be careful of. Bioko's challenged brilliantly by Zhao, and now City have got it in the middle again. Capiello to Mohammadi. He tries to cross, but it's blocked by Lambert, but we're really living on the edge here. The last couple of minutes are going to be difficult. Forenzek gets it back to Appleyard. He finds Capiello on the edge. Plays a 1-2 with Appleyard again. Antonov hacks it away. Mercado brings it down on the left though. His cross is blocked by Alexander Arnold. A corner for City on the left hand side. Timmers with the outswinger. Ben Harush heads it behind again. This is certainly a nervy last few moments. We've got extra time of course in this tie. The quarterfinals don't go to a replay. Van Riel's got it in and Alexander Arnold heads away. Jimenez flicks it yet further. Just 15 seconds left to hang on, and then we can regroup for 30 minutes. Jimenez does the right thing there, just hoofs it as long as he can. City have regained it as centre half. They go back to the keeper, but the whistle should go any second now, and we'll be able to talk to the lads again. But hang on a minute, Forenzek and Van Riel running in behind on the right. Lambert makes a fantastic tackle, and the ball's out for a City throw. We're nearly a minute over the stoppage time, and I'm not sure where the hold-up's been, but finally the final whistle does go, and we're going into 30 minutes more. We're going to offer the lads encouragement, just as Yarovinski recommends. The lads are gaining confidence and I hope they respond. City are going all out attack. Can we catch them out on the break? It's Alexander Arnold to Benitez. He finds Morella on the right. Charging forward, not much pressure. Tries to play the through ball, but it's a little bit rusty and Beza intercepts. He's been replaced by Anthony Vernier. A hero from 2 of our former clubs in the head coach. Both Napoli and Sporting Lisbon he joined us at. As Ben Harush heads the ball in the area, his header's gone just wide of the post. He's someone who will know Vernier quite well, having spent a year with him at Sporting. It's a long ball forward from City to Appleyard. Headed down and no one gets there. Appleyard runs onto his own header and goes inside to Bioko. Oh no, he scored from 40 yards. That is absolutely ridiculous. The goalkeeper was standing on one side, couldn't have made it any easier. They were back with an Antonov corner at the other end. It's an end-to-end match as Benitez shoots and Bioko makes the tackle. How we've conceded that goal I don't know. It went straight down the middle from 40 yards and no one seemed to get near it. It's Timmers on the left hand side for City. Benitez fouls him and it's starting to get a bit open now. We're really struggling at the back. We're going to go and try a positive mentality, try and control the game and get back into it, but it's not looking good at the moment. I think it's going to be a long extra time period for us. Benitez has picked up a yellow card as City are back for a free kick. Lambert nicks it though and we've got a 5-on-3 here. Speed up and get forward, will ya? Into Connolly the youngster. He's not good enough in terms of star rating, but he's put us back on level terms. We've pushed Antonov back to a support duty and Dave Connolly's the hero. What is it with young players in our two stories this year? They seem to be taking the headlines. Vernier's playing over at right back for City now, a position we know he's not very good at, and we're going to go and make our fourth sub as well, though I'm not quite sure who it's going to be. Alexander-Arnold is struggling for fitness, so we should really be bringing on Breno Henrique, but with Benitez on 62% condition and on a yellow card, I'm going to have to take him off for Hugo, who will come into that Segundo Volante role. It's a City free kick on the left-hand side, as we've told Antonov to ease off tackles. He's won it back from the free kick though. This could be a carbon copy. It's a bit too hard for Connolly. He gets it back into Antonov though. What a finish by the Russian. Dave Connolly on the break. He has been an absolute hero. We changed him back to a complete forward just 5 minutes ago, and he scored and assisted a goal since. He could be the FA Cup hero. He might have his moment here as a youngster coming through at Liverpool. He's struggled and been on the fringes for years, and this could be his big moment. Bioko's got the ball at the back for City. He finds the centre half and now Cappiello. Don't forget Connolly scored the winner in the Merseyside derby too. It's certainly been some season for him, though Timmers has put it into Appleyard. It's certainly not over yet. Bioko with a header, a fantastic save from Manolis. We can't even keep up with the highlights now. So many of them. Timmermans delivers and Manolis does brilliantly to claim it. What a fantastic game this has been, and 3 goals in extra time already. It's half time and we're going to get back into it. We'll stick with the positive mentality for now, as when we went to balanced we got outplayed. City have got the ball in the middle with Cappiello. Mohammedi tries to get it in behind, but Manolis comes out and smothers the ball. Excellent work by the keeper. Is City with a free kick on halfway. Bears along towards Timmermans. Oh, he's given a penalty. Alexander-Arnold too strong with the nudge. The word nudge suggests it wasn't strong at all, but it's a penalty to be taken by Forensic. Manolis is the hero. Oh, the rebound's in though. So many emotions in this one. Manolis tipped the ball onto the post and Forensic just taps it in the rebound. Where on earth are the defensive players? Certainly not helping out their keeper. It's a throw on the right for Alexander-Arnold. Headed away but straight back to him. In the box and Beza heads away and Mercado hacks it further. Antonov down to Vita Hugo the sub. He goes wide to Arnold. He's got 2 in the box if he can find them, but his cross is blocked and hacked away. Just 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go, and we've got another throw on that right hand side. In down the line, there's 2 men there if he can find them, but he heads it straight to Timmers, and it's away as far as Vita Hugo. He's got 3 closing him down, but he finds Fantonov and now Connolly. Out to Ben Harush on the left, but it's overhit and out for a City goal kick. Beza with a throw on the right. So many highlights in this one. We can't keep up with the action. Morala the sub's been absolutely useless. We've brought him back a little too soon. Forensic tries to cross and it's blocked, as is the second one from the right back, but Ben Harush loses in the foot race and City get possession again. Long towards Timmers on the City left. Trent Alexander-Arnold heads away. Morala charging forward on the right, beats one man with his pace, beats a second in the tackle, tries to deliver for Ben Harush. I thought that was going to be his Ryan Giggs moment there, but Lambert crosses it in again and Anthony Vernier hacks away. Alexander-Arnold to Morala. He tries to cross and it's blocked and it's behind for a corner kick, but I don't know if we're going to have time for it. With 10 seconds past the allotted time, Antonov puts in the corner. Where's it going to go? Can it find a Liverpool head? It can't as Vernier heads away. Penalties we've got is 4-4 after extra time. A wonderful game of FA Cup football, and that's what an FA Cup tie should be about. We're going to set our penalty takers and we'll be back in a moment as we start the penalty shootout against City. We've set all 11 as takers, so let's get into the shootout. Didn't have time to save a sub for it. The skipper Trent Alexander-Arnold goes first. Can he start us in a good frame? He can't. It's tipped away by Haller. The experienced skipper has let us down numerous times today, and I think it might be time for Breno Henrique. Forensic steps up for City. He makes no mistake at all. Trent Alexander-Arnold could cost us our place in the final after conceding the penalty for the equaliser. Morala steps up just back from injury. He's sent the keeper the wrong way and it's 1-1, but City have got a penalty in hand which Timmers will take for them now. The left footer I think is going to step up. Can Manolis be the hero? He can't. It's a really powerful penalty and now Antonov's got to do the same for us. Here he comes, steps up confidently, and he shouldn't have with a penalty like that. It's pretty much chipped into the keeper's arms. Awful penalty, and we've lost the shootout for sure now. Cappiello steps up for City, and they lead 3-1 after 3 penalties. Now we need to save both and score both, otherwise it's going to be curtains. I couldn't be more disappointed with that performance. The experienced players have let us down in the shootout. Yes, we've competed fantastically, but the experienced pros have let us down. It's Dave Connolly, the youngster, stepping up. He was fantastic in the game, and the reason that we've even got to this stage, and he's put one in via the keeper. Haller really should have saved it, but he's done Connolly a favour there. Now we've got Manolis required to be the hero, needs to save 2 in a row, or at least force the City's players to miss, starting with the right back Mohammadi. He's on a yellow card, but that doesn't matter now. I'm sure he'll manage to slot this one away. Can we stay in the FA Cup for one more kick, or is this going to be the last one of the match? Mohammadi puts it in the bottom corner. City are through on penalties. A fantastic game of FA Cup football, followed by some awful penalties by our experienced players. Trent Alexander-Arnold let us down, the best penalty taker on the pitch, and unfortunately after conceding a penalty, he's also thrown away the game. So we're not very happy with him. We're going to tell the boys the effort was excellent. They put in a brilliant effort, and it was just one of those days. We conceded some weird goals, and unfortunately lost out in the end. So there's the confirmation. We are out of the FA Cup, but certainly a far better fight than the Carabao Cup tie, and it shows how far we've come with those January signings and how well the players have responded to us in charge. Let's go and have a quick look at the schedule to see when we'll next be back. I think we're just going to do 2 more episodes from this series, as we are in contention for that final European spot, and we're close to our rivals Everton. So we're going to show the Merseyside derby. It was obviously our first game on camera. And we're going to show the return game at Goodison Park, so hopefully you'll come and join me for that one. Then we'll have our final game of the season at home to Chelsea at Anfield, so those will be the last 2 episodes of this series, and then we'll review our season at Liverpool, see if there are any other jobs available that may give us a brilliant challenge next year. Otherwise it will be the end of the series, and we'll focus on Torquay until the release of FM20. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that performance. Please put a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. It was a great game of FA Cup football, and exactly what the Cup should be about. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this FM19 challenge, as well as our long-term story with Torquay United as we try to take them to the top of English and European football. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. Thank you to everyone that's given that a try, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough beforehand. There's also weekly content from my Snooker 19 career every Friday at 4:30. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and I hope to see you next time for the Merseyside derby as we try to do the double over our rivals.